Won't you take me back to Tennessee?
The award-winning Tennessee Wildcast is on the air with the latest info about hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. This episode is brought to you by GSM Outdoors, whose vision is to preserve the sportsman's legacy, fuel innovation, and enable the next generation of outdoor enthusiasts. Think outside. That's where you'll find us. Now, make welcome your host, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee Wildcast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We got a fun show lined up for you today. Mr. Johnny Allred's helping me co-host.
Thanks for having me.
Back again. It's been a few weeks since we've had you, Johnny, but glad you're here with us again.
Always happy to be here.
You know what? We're 2 weeks away from turkey season.
We're talking turkey today, so that's right up my alley.
The Young Sportsman Hunt will be coming up in 2 weeks. That opens up on April 5th, so mark your calendars, young hunters out there, and tell your dad, your grandpa, your mama to get you out there. So it's going to be a fun time of year. I enjoy turkey season. I'm a deer hunter, but turkey hunting is probably my second favorite thing. And I'm excited to talk turkey with our guest today, GSM Outdoors, the sponsor, as you heard on the intro. But we're glad to have a few representatives from the company today, and we're going to talk these products and give away some products. So we have Mr. Steve Cobb with us and Crispin Powley, and we're going to jump in and meet these guys and then dive into this content. So I'm excited.
Good deal.
Glad y'all are here. Steve, you were with us a few weeks ago. We talked predator hunting. Won't you jump in and remind folks who you are, and then we'll slide over here to Crispin.
Steve Cobb. I'm from Union, South Carolina. I've been doing this outdoor stuff for my whole life. Ever since I was 14, I think I killed my first turkey when I was 14 years old.
Awesome.
So I don't want to tell you how old I am now. No, I'm 62, so that tells you I've been doing it a long time. I've enjoyed it. I'm an 8-time South Carolina state champion and been on the Grand National stage many times, placed in those contests too. And now I have since retired from contest calling and just helping develop product for GSM and Hunter Specialties throughout the years and making sure we have a quality product for the outdoorsman. And that's really what I am happy about, to know that when we put something out, it's been field tested. It is the top of the line. Awesome. It is as good a product as you can use to go hunt with. And turkey hunting is my passion. I love it. And man, I can't wait. I'm going to tell you right now, I can't wait. I'm ready to go right now.
Just a few weeks away.
I'm telling y'all. I'm pumped up and ready to go. I'm already planning to go to Florida. Then I'll hit Georgia, then South Carolina. And then I may end up coming up to Tennessee. You don't ever know.
I think you'll be. Probably hope you be at the governor's one shot here in Tennessee.
That's right.
I'd love for you to come up.
Well, I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me on the show here.
Thank you. You only touched on a small part of your bio here. I got a whole list of things, but 40 years turkey hunting and calling experience.
That's exactly right.
Awesome.
Sure enough.
This is the man to go with, sounds like. All right, so Crispin, tell us about yourself. Senior Vice President of the fishing side of GSM, right?
Yeah, I tell everybody I make a living on the fishing side, but my passion's really hunting, and turkey hunting's very high on that list.
Awesome. So how did you come to be with the GSM? And
I'm a native Tennessean. I live in Benton County now. I grew up in Henry County and worked for a Tennessee company, Strike King, for 17 years when it was based here.
Okay.
And company sold a couple times, had some contacts at GSM, Brian Robinson, a couple guys, they just reached out to me and said, hey, we want to get into fishing. And I was already using a ton of the GSM hunting brands, products. Might have been swapping some fishing for some hunting. But long story short, man, I loved a lot of the GSM products, and it was an exciting opportunity to come to work for a company I had a lot of belief in. So
awesome.
3 years ago, made the jump over, and man, it's just we're excited to be part of this show.
We're excited.
Really excited about a lot going on with GSM right now.
Well, I appreciate you joining us today. We're excited too. This is a great partnership. I know y'all have been a long-time partner of the foundation and the agency, and just to extend this into Wildcast and give our listeners an opportunity to win some product and try out some of y'all's stuff, and then learn more about how these things can help them kill a turkey or kill a deer or catch some fish.
It's such a broad line of products. If you're in the hunting and fishing enthusiast, I mean, just look up GSM GSMOutdoors.com, our brands, and see what they carry. It's all quality stuff. I mean, from the turkey hunting stuff to the optics to the Walker game ear. I mean, there's so many great things that they have. It's just endless.
It makes your hunting easier whenever you got the right equipment.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like he can tell you fishing. If you don't have the right equipment fishing, you're not probably going to be successful.
Yeah.
Hunting's kind of the same way. You need to have the right equipment, and GSM Outdoors, they got it.
They got it.
We're 60 brands ish
Yeah.
strong, and one of the cool things I love to tell people is before I ever worked for GSM, there's not a genre of hunting, and I do it all. I mean, I turkey hunt, waterfowl hunt, deer hunt, predator hunt. I already used all the
I'm going to
GSM.
get your number.
Well, I'm down the road, I'd love to hook up, but yeah, I mean, I used GSM products before I worked here because it was the right
Good
equipment.
quality stuff.
Yeah.
That's the way you look at it. You buy quality stuff. One thing I guess, I'm quality when it comes to my hunting products. I don't have the best. That's just the way it is.
Well, I see some products on the table today that I think are right up there as considered some of the best.
It's some of the things that I've developed over the years and put my little 2 cent worth into the final product, and I think it will help the outdoorsman out there to become a better caller. And that's really the whole intent of producing a mouth call or a slate call or any type of call is making you successful. If you're not successful, guess what? You're probably not going to go.
Yeah.
So I want you to be successful. I want you to sound better. And I think with some of these new products that we're coming out with, I think you will sound better.
And we're going to give this to some of these listeners too, make them successful.
That's exactly right. I've got a Cobb cutter I'm going to give away. That's great.
Yeah, let's. I'm going to. Let's just jump into that, and then we'll dive into these products.
Okay.
So this vest right here, this is the HS Strut turkey vest. We're going to give that away for this week's show, and then the Cobb cutter, which we're going to hear today.
That's right.
And so I'm excited to get these.
I actually gave a couple out there. Yeah, we're going to let y'all have to be able to test them. Hey, when did you say Youth Day comes in?
Yeah, that's April 5th and 6th.
So it's not far around. You keep practicing right now, and y'all be able to call one in for a kid. That's great.
I'm going to be ready. Or I may just call my buddy Steve so he can
Come on up.
come get my son a turkey. Let's talk about how to give away. So if you want to enter to win these two products, and this call.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah, we're going to
I forgot to tell you that. I'm gonna actually give away my cookie cutter call, and I did sign it. So, and a 50 cent to get you a cup of coffee. But
So to get your name in the hat, it's key to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell so you're notified when the shows come out, the new shows come out. Subscribe to your favorite podcasting platform, whether it's Spotify, which is now where we're hosted. You got Apple Podcast, and somebody's getting a phone call. Answer that real quick, Johnny. So
Me.
you got on your favorite podcasting platform. Subscribe there. Then like, share, comment in the on our social media. Engage with us. That's the way to win. If you engage, that's how your name gets put in the hat. And we'll have all these details in the comments below. But also don't forget that we're on Carbon TV and 30 plus radio stations. And I did it again, Johnny. I forgot our radio station. Go back to Kicks 96 in Centerville. Kicks 96, Centerville, Tennessee.
Right down the road from us.
Yeah, they run the show Monday through Friday. That's the extra Monday through Friday at 5:50 a.m. And then the full show is on Saturdays at 7 a.m. So we love our radio partners, appreciate them very much, and there we are. So get your name in the hat to win these prizes. Now, let's jump into some of these products. Today we're going to one thing I want to mention, Tennessee calls. A lot of these calls we're going to talk about today. Some of them are made here in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, we make a lot of our diaphragm calls in Parsons, Tennessee, right down the road from about 20 minutes south of where I live in Camden. And
we love Tennessee products.
Yeah, so do we. We build muddy blinds there. We have a pretty strong background here in Tennessee with manufacturing.
Well, speaking of muddy, we hadn't talked about that, but they have a great line of camouflage for turkey hunters.
Yeah,
I mean it's a good stuff. I've been using
boots also.
Yeah,
they've got
and blinds. I mean, I've seen great blinds too.
Oh yeah, we GSM has it all. I'm telling you right now, we're going to give away some stuff that all they need is a gun, and I think they're going to be able to hunt.
I like that. All right, so had decoys. Don't forget the decoys. Avion and some other.
Avian X, Flex Tone, and Hunter Specialties, the Strut Light series. So GSM sells all those lines. So if you want it, go GSMOutdoors.com Is that correct?
Our brands.
Our brands, or you can find whatever you want online right there and see exactly what products are available.
Steve, we were just talking about before the show that how far decoys have came. You know, we were using cardboard cutouts for a while, and then these just awful looking decoys.
They're looking for that advantage. And back in the day, somebody finally said, hey, let me kind of put something up here that looks like a turkey. Maybe that'll attract one, and probably came in, and wham, there you come up with the first decoy. You know what I'm saying?
You even said that some of these avian decoys have been shot by the hunters. They shot their own decoys because they get confused on what's there because they looking here,
and then all of a sudden, boom!
They look exactly like a turkey.
That's how
down to
technology has really come a long way with the decoys.
Yeah.
And with Avian X, their duck decoys, their goose decoys, oh my gosh. I mean, you would just about be ready to shoot one.
Yeah.
Would you, Chris?
Yeah.
It's amazing artistry.
I've got a 13 and 11-year-old who love to turkey hunt, and what I've learned is if I can sound like a turkey, I can get their attention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can hide my kids in a blind. They don't scare the turkey off. And if you've got an attractive decoy that looks lifelike, it keeps the turkey focused on it, and they don't see my kids, picking their nose or whatever they're doing. That
Getting little Debbie's.
No doubt.
That's exactly
for a kid to get the attention off of the hunter, the blind, the ground blind, that kid can get a good shot, and it's a lot to do with the technology out there nowadays.
That's right. Yeah.
It really is, and it's helped a lot of hunters be successful.
Let's talk about this stand a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is an incredible thing to have a decoy on any terrain.
This decoy is tattooed with an HS back here.
I kind of slid that in back years ago. Hold that for me, Chris.
Yes,
but I believe that camera there can see me. But the way this tripod stick comes apart,
Hold it high so it makes sure it's on the camera there.
and that's it right there. And then it comes down and it just fits right in your pack, so you're good to go. That's the way it is.
It's wide enough the wind's not going to blow it over.
Exactly right. Texas, I have had no problem filming in Texas with this thing. It stands up, and the wind blows 99.9% of the time in Texas.
So if you're looking for this HS Strut all-terrain decoy stand, it's a tripod stand, works in any condition. Frozen ground is not a problem for this thing. This is great. Hard ground, frozen ground. You don't have to have.
And any decoy, okay? So Avian X will work in that. Flex Tone will work in that. If you buy another
No, they don't. Right? No.
There are no other decoys.
There are no other decoys. That's right.
Okay, it will work with others.
That stand right there will work.
No more breaking your stick sticking in the ground.
I told you earlier, back in the day when we were filming all the time, and the turkey would gobble, and I'd put the decoy out, and I'd crawl back and get with the cameraman.
Fall over.
It'd either fall over, it'd be crooked. The cameraman, Steve, you got to go get him. So I had to go straighten it back up 2 or 3 trips, and the next thing you know, the turkey quit gobbling because he saw me. So.
That's great.
But if I'd have had that years ago, my life would have been much easier. So.
Definitely. All right, so let's jump into season prep, and we're going to talk box, slate, and mouth calls. But let's talk season prep. So, do you tune your calls? Do you prep your mouth calls? How does all that work?
Pretty much what I tell a lot of folks when I became a really, really successful turkey caller was practicing. Mm-hmm. And you need to practice. A lot of people don't practice till the day before the season opens.
Yeah, and they're looking at me.
And then they want to know why they don't sound good. And I'm like, well, buddy, you just put this call in your mouth last night. And you're trying to call one in this morning. I've been calling for 3 months. So that would probably be the best thing. And call care is something you need to make sure of. And I've been so fortunate to be able to get my hands on calls my whole life. Mm-hmm. So my call care quality probably is not as particular as Chris's, because I'm going to get me another one next year anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But some of these folks want to take care of their stuff. And I would say slates and box calls, you want to make sure you keep them out of the moisture and keep them where they're in a spot where they won't get damaged over time. Right. Some of the slate calls back in the day, humidity with that sound bar in the bottom would expand, mm-hmm. and it would crack the glass or mess the sound up. And next year, people would get it, and it sounded like crap. And it was actually not taken care of. So that's something you need to make sure of. If you got a slate call, you want to put it in a place that the humidity is not going to change too much, so it doesn't damage your call. Good tip. One of the things as far as calling or quality of a slate, what I always like to tell people is, a slate call, you want to always try to sand it left to right and then call against the grain.
Okay.
And you want to always keep your moisture off of the slate because any type of oil on that slate is going to make it slip. So that's one of the things that we came up with, the cookie cutter. Can I go ahead and show you this right now?
You sure can.
All right, so the cookie cutter.
This is the one we're going to give away, too.
I'm going to give this one away. The cookie cutter, what it's got, it shows you the purr, shows you the yelp, and shows you the cluck, and I'm going to demonstrate it. So all you got to do is just put the call on there, get the correct angle, and drag it.
That's nice.
All right, so that's for the purr, and then you got the yelp. All right, and it shows you the little half circle. Then for the cluck, it's just one pop. All right, this comes off, okay? If you don't need it, and then now you can just... So there you got the cookie cutter. It's got a little bit of an instructional thing with it, but guess what? Some lucky guy's going to get this call. So hopefully, hey, don't forget to sign up. What they got to do? They got to hit something on that computer.
Subscribe, share, comment, jump in there and engage with us. That's how you get your name in the hat. So
that cookie cutter is a lot. I told my kids it's like when they had training wheels on their bicycle.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. Like you're learning how to ride with some guardrails.
Yeah, that's what I was.
See there how easy it is?
Look at that. Anybody can do that.
There you go.
Let's see. Get the cluck.
It's easy to do. Well, it kind of slipped.
You put your oil on there. Is what you did.
That's what I did. I rubbed my finger on there. I did what I told y'all not to do.
Yeah. But no, Crispin, I was thinking the same thing for kids. This would be great for them to learn.
Oh, yeah. You'll hear them learning on it. I promise. I got an 11-year-old that carries one of those around pretty regular. And to be honest with you, with that thing on the call, I'll probably let him call one in this year. Yeah, I'm gonna make him keep the training wheels on because he's much better with it. But
right.
What a great learning tool.
Yeah, one of the things that just another tip is a lot of people try to use a friction call, and what you want to do, you want to get contact with the call so that you can make that same.
Yep.
Every time, if you don't have your hand on the call, that's what's gonna sound. Yeah. You just make sure, and that's why that protects some oil from those kids what you're talking about. So that's a great tool to learn with. Absolutely. But once you learn, then you're going to put a little bit of oil on the call down there, but that's not the place that you're hitting the surface with. So just protect the area that you're actually calling on. So that's a good tip, and it's a good tool. And hey, I'm looking forward to hearing about how your kid does this year. That's great.
Well, he's going to watch this and going to hold me to it now. So.
Talk about the striker a little bit. I mean, some of these come with fiberglass rods or wood.
There's so many different strikers out there. One of the things is we make a storm pack that actually works in the rain. It's a carbon, and then it's got an aluminum one in there, and a plexiglass end, and all those will work in the rain. So a lot of times when I'm demonstrating, I'll actually lick the surface and then pull that striker out, and it'll make this a great sound. Mm-hmm. So that's a tool that if you're hunting in the rain, you may need that. So it's just something that you need to prepare for. But there are so many different strikers out there, and it's personal preference. But over years, Hunter Specialties, Avian X, or Flex Tone, and Zinc, we've come up with what we think is the best striker to match that call. Okay. So that's why when we actually field testing these products, that's what we're doing. We may have 50 strikers out there, and we're trying to complete it with the perfect slate. Right. And so then by the time it gets to the consumer, hey, it's number one as far as I'm concerned.
They got what they need.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's GSM makes these products, and I'm telling you right now, GSM Outdoors is the place to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm believing. So, all right. So box calls.
Okay, a box call, and this has probably been more turkeys killed by a box call because they're easy to use. Yeah. And the one thing with it too, you don't want to get any of your actual fingerprints or anything on the surface, and you want to use chalk and keep chalk on it. And this one probably been used at the show today, but it's just an easy call to manufacture a good quality sound, and it can do anything you want to with it. We've got some that's just a two-stroke like that, Chris, and this one here is a spring-loaded. So actually, if you just pull it down,
puts it right back.
Puts it right back where it needs to.
That angle on it too looks like it's got a different angle.
And it's just a one side on this one. And this would be a novice type call. In other words, somebody that
For me.
would not be, but it's got a good quality sound. Well, we've got some folks that really worked hard to get that thing to make it as easy for folks to use as possible. And I think we did that.
Yep.
And the quality of sound that comes on those calls are really good. And like I say, Zinc, Flex Tone, Hunter Specialties, those are the name brands that are out there that'll give you the quality call you need.
Yeah. Awesome. I could see some competition going on here with all these guys. I know my call, I know your call, and then see who calls in the biggest bird.
And the last one will be the mouth call, and we'll go over the diaphragm call. You want to go over that now? Or you want to wait to?
Well, I think we're still talking about practicing, tuning them up,
Okay.
make sure you're caring for them. Yeah, let's jump in.
Okay, and this is the call that I actually designed. Is the Cobb cutter.
And that's going to be given away.
Yep, and what I did with this is I tried to scale back. A lot of people have got so many cuts and so many different raspy sounds and I don't think it sounded that great. But going to hunt camps and listening to people call, I would make them or cut them a call that would make them sound better. And this particular Cobb cut is what made 90% of the people at these hunt camps sound better. Now, I ain't gonna say 100% because I got a small percentage. I don't care what you do for them, Chris. They're just not. There's no help,
You hunt with some of the people I hunt with.
But I'm gonna let you listen to what this sounds like, and over the years, it really has become a good yelping and cutting call for me. And what you want to do is you want to force air over the call.
That's my next question.
Instead of letting it come out the sides, and that's what most people do. They'll let the air come out the side instead of forcing it over the call. So one of the basic ways I would teach people would be to go tuk, 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 and that kind of forces the air over the call.
Okay.
And I blow a call a little bit different. I'm gonna took one time, and this is probably the 90% of the people do this. And there's nothing wrong with it, but it's gonna sound a little bit different with this call. Okay. All right, flew back down. It's just a different way of blowing it versus. I force the air difference. You see that? And that's just that's the way I do it. But all the calls I took with them to make sure the average person can make a good sound. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
It's just two different ways of blowing, and I'm gonna tell you, there's going to be a small percentage that can make that sound that I just did. I mean, it's just because you're not going to practice for 40 years like I have. I mean, that's I've been doing it my whole life, you know, and that's what drives people crazy is, I can't make that sound. Well, you need to really, really practice. And so that's it in a nutshell. I think if you do, the one thing I will say, don't get hung up on what you use or that. Try some different stuff, and guess what? One of those cuts may be exactly what you need, Chris. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And you've got your personal preferences, I know, don't you? You said the cutting 2.5.
I love a cutting 2.5 from HS. I've used that call for years. I'm very convicted right now that I haven't blown it in a little while, but I will when I get home. I'll get one out and start. Now you
tuning it up.
You made me feel bad.
Spend a lot of time in the car by yourself.
That's right.
You only got 2 weeks to get the kids out there. So
I'm behind. I'm just behind.
You were talking about 2 weeks behind. One of the good things about turkey hunting is you can go out there and pattern these animals, these birds or turkeys, and be successful opening morning for that kid. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, these trail cameras. It's cheating, but you got to use them.
Well, I'm just
telling you right now, at GSM, we got all kind of trail cameras out there that
I use them for deer, turkeys. I got real big into predator hunting tournaments, and I'd use trail cameras for that. I've got a waterfowl lease in West Tennessee. During duck season, I put 360 cams out around my pit, and I can usually tell how many birds are coming in there.
It's changed hunting for everybody.
We've been at camp eating lunch, and ding, the guy's phone goes off, and he's walking down the power line. He's like, there's one on the power line now. We're grabbing our stuff, and we running to go get, But that's just the way technology. See, years ago, we couldn't have done that. We had no clue he was walking down the power line,
I'm using these stealth cameras in Colorado, and I'll send Brian pictures of elk and mule deer and stuff on there, and I'm running. The batteries are lasting a whole season. You buy a good, lithium batteries that you put in them now, or they've got these
solar
chargers I've got on mine there that even the snow will just pile up, and when the snow goes down, the camera's still working, still starts going off.
It goes to the fishing technology too. I mean, this technology has made some of us really lazy hunters. Is kind of what it amounts to.
But I have this conversation all the time, and I'm glad you touched on that. I think it's our responsibility as manufacturers to make people more successful, to come out with technology and products that get people closer to their goal.
I agree.
No doubt they've done that.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
well, I'm looking forward to getting one of those stealth cams in here and checking it out. So different hunting styles, techniques for the different types of seasons, and we got about 3 minutes here left. So early, middle, and late. What's your techniques on early, middle, late?
Pretty much early season off the roost. One of my keys, and listeners out there, if you'll do this, I probably shouldn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you. Do not call to that gobbler in the tree until it is light enough for her to be on the ground. Okay? Because pretty much I know a lot of people that he's up there and gobbled all morning long. It's not even broke daylight, and they already tree calling to him. And he knows that that's coming from the ground. And he knows it's pitch black dark. And if he's a smart gobbler, he's not going down there where she's already on the ground. So I always make sure before I make that first sound that it's light enough for her to actually be on the ground. So at daylight, you talk about my technique, he can gobble 1,000 times, and I'm sitting there, oh, gosh, I wish it'd get daylight. Oh, gosh, I wish it'd get daylight. And that's one of my techniques there. On up in the morning, I like to stay up high on a logging road and do a little bit of calling and stand and listen. Then walk another 200 or 300 yards, do a little bit of calling. Kind of like what we were talking about, the predator calling. We don't want to be too loud, but what we want to do is get our volume out there.
Yeah, okay.
So a little bit further, get a little bit louder. Okay?
All right. Yeah. Awesome. And those late season birds that won't talk, or you think they won't talk, they're still there.
They're still there. That's where a lot less and a good quality decoy can make you successful. And I would say sit still and let the decoy do the work on them tough birds. There's no doubt about that.
Well, it's going to be a great season. Johnny, let's don't forget the Governor's One Shot.
Governor's One Shot's coming up soon. If you're interested in guiding or hunting on the Governor's One Shot, twrf.net. Look up me. You can contact me there or on Facebook, either one. Let me know. I'll be glad to have you involved with it.
That's Johnny Allred. April 11th and 12th. The hunt's on the 12th. The season for adults or anybody is April 12th through May 25th. The young sportsman April 5th through the 6th. Thank you to GSM Outdoors and all the products we have here today to look at and share and get out to you guys. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, engage with us so you'll get your name in the hat for some of these cool products. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I appreciate it.
It's been a great show. This is Tennessee Wildcast, and we'll see you next time.
Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. You can invest in Tennessee's wildlife future by purchasing a license at GoOutdoorsTennessee.com. That's GoOutdoorsTennessee.com.
you.